Hi Flosstube, I'm Lori and welcome to Once Upon a Stitch. Today is Monday, November 4th, 2024. It is my 156th Flosstube video. If you're new, I hope you stay and watch and find something that interests you or can inspire you to maybe start. If you're returning, thank you so much. I always appreciate my viewers. Even if they don't make comments, I'm glad that I know you're there. So thank you very much. Okay, I'm going to get right into it because I have a lot here and I want to make sure I remember to tell you everything. So I have notes and hopefully I'll remember to look at the notes. A viewer asked about this piece here. I had it hanging on the wall up here. It is from Brooks Books and it's called Once Upon a Time. It's the Aesop Fables and they're monthly vignettes, and I don't know all of them, to be honest with you. Like I know the Three Pigs, the Princess and the Pea, Jack and the Beanstalk, Rapunzel, Hansel and Gretel, Red Riding Hood. I don't know, I want to say this is Cinderella, but I don't know if that's an Aesop fable. Anyway, the Three Bears. Those are the ones that I'm almost certain of. So the pattern is still available. I had Googled it to make sure I had all the information on it. It's funny, when I wrote it in my notes, I wrote, instead of writing Once Upon a Time, I wrote Once Upon a Stitch. This weekend, I was supposed to have a library meetup at the Clark Library here in New Jersey. I don't know if I'll be able to go. I'm hoping to be able to go for an hour or so. I have something that I have to take care of. And then on Sunday, my in-laws are coming to visit, which I'm always happy that when they come, we get to spend time with my mother-in-law and sister-in-law and her boyfriend. So we're really happy. The boys are coming over with all the families, and my mother-in-law doesn't get to see these great-grandchildren as often as the ones that live in New York. So I'm glad she's coming. She's not feeling that great. She's, slowing down. She's going to be 97 in January. So she's been really good up to now. She has all her facilities. I mean, she's wonderful. And she was a great mother-in-law, I have to say. So anyway, they're coming on Sunday. So that's what's happening. I've had, this month of October, I've had 4 days, I think, of no stitching at all. And I mean, I was having withdrawal. So then when the first day after, like, I think 2 days, my husband saw me stitching during the day and he kind of left me alone. He realized that I didn't get a chance to stitch and I was missing it. So when I get to stitch, I'm in a good mood. I told you about the Quaker quarter that I was going to try and contact them. I found out that Quaker sell their company to Rainbow Gallery, and I had a phone number, and I called up Rainbow Gallery and I explained to them about it, and I says, "Are your new quarters made the same way? Is that hook gonna, come out?" And she didn't. I don't know if she was a worker or like a receptionist that she just forward phone calls around, but she wasn't too familiar with the product. She said that she almost made it sound like they didn't have them in yet, so they were expecting a shipment. So she said, "Where did you buy it?" And I said, "I bought it from 123 Stitch." And she says, "Well, maybe you should contact them." So, but you know what? It's a number of years old. I didn't use it. If I used it a handful of times, it was a lot. But, like I don't have the receipt anymore. I would assume they might have my order online, but I don't know if it's still, under the warranty. So my husband put the hook back on, but I haven't tried it since. So anyway, that's the way it is. Somebody says you can even do it with an electric drill. Spin it one way and then spin it the other way, which I might give that a try as well. Halloween, I had Layla during the day, and then we headed over to Michael and Rebecca's, and James and Amy and Gianna and Talia joined us there, and Caleb and Layla, and we all went trick-or-treating together in their neighborhood. Michael had a wagon for the little ones in case they got tired. Gianna, I don't think she ever gets tired. I mean, oh, I didn't tell you. I watched her the last week in October. She's 3 years old and full of energy. I swear she zapped us all of our energy, and this child has it, all of it. She slept over Sunday night. We went to pick her up. James went on a business trip to San Diego. So Amy had to be at work with Talia. She goes to daycare where Amy works, and Gianna goes to preschool at elementary school in South Plainfield. So it was easier for her to sleep at our house and then get her to school and then pick her up and have her sleep here again for the 2 nights. The first night, she didn't go to sleep till midnight. Oh my God. I mean, she was pretty calm. I was expecting her to fall asleep. She wanted to watch Paw Patrol. So I put Paw Patrol on, and one after another, she just kept watching and watching. And then I finally said, okay, let's go to bed and we'll watch it up there. But still, she wasn't falling asleep. 12 o'clock, I just said, that's it. No more. And then she goes, I want to be held. And I says, come on over. So I slept with her in the spare room in the big bed. We put a bar so that she doesn't fall off. And she finally fell asleep. I was a zombie the next day. She was fine. The following night, I knew how to do it a little bit better. At 10:30, she was in bed, asleep. Okay, I watched Sian from Periwinkle Stitcher from England, and she was talking about the Great British Bake Off show, and I love that show. I watch it every time a new season comes on. And in the beginning, it was nice because I got to binge watch it because they would put the whole season out since I hadn't watched it prior. And I got to see the whole season like in 2 or 3 days. And because then I put it on, I stitch at night, and it just goes to the next one. But when the new ones come out now, I have to wait a week for it to, like every Friday now, it comes out and I watch it. So she was talking about it, and it was funny because I watch it and sometimes I don't know what they're talking about. And when I heard Sian say the same thing, like, I don't get any of the things Noel jokes about, I'm like, oh good, I'm glad I'm not the only one. I thought it was an English thing and I just didn't get it because it was an English thing, but she didn't get it either. So I'm sorry for I just found that so funny. So anyway, I thought I'd share that with you. Anyway, I brought it up also because JessieMarie Does Stuff, JessieMarie came up with another, I guess, game to play with our cross stitching. And it had to do with that show. You watched the Great Bake Off and you assigned a project to every one of the bakers. And then depending on who got the star baker, who got a handshake, who was best overall, and there were some other things that who was going home, and like you assigned a project to each person, and then how many stitches if that person was called. Like if they were the star baker and you want to do 100 stitches for the star baker, you had a project assigned to it, so you would work on that. It came up too late for me to figure it all out, and I didn't want to backtrack and everything, so I said, well, I'll be prepared if they do the next one, another Great Bake Off, and JessieMarie comes up with this. I'll watch the video again and see how she does make out with it, and I'll see if I'll participate in that as well, because it sounded like a lot of fun. Okay, I wanted to show you my whip-go board. First, I'm going to show you my original whip-go board. It was a mess. I couldn't tell him if I was coming or going. I crossed out things that hadn't been called yet because I finished it, and I realized I shouldn't have done that because then I can't tell if I have a whip go. So anyway, I rewrote it, and I just write the months on it because basically if it's in that month, I'm going to stitch it if it was called. So November, it was Love Notes and The Little Dog, and both of them were finished a while ago. So then December is the last month. That was Mountain View Bay and Seeking Refuge. And if you're my regular viewers, you know I already finished those. So my whip go for the year is over. I have to figure out how I'm going to work whip go next year. I know people are talking about maybe having a whip go board with all new starts. That's not me. I had a lot of starts this year. This is the monthly magazine challenge that I participated in October. And the only thing I'll just say is the letters Y. I used the Red House sampler for the U's, Y-E-W-S, that were in the pattern. And then the library, I used the R because it has a romance section. And then in the 24 hours of cross stitch, the acrostic was take some risks. And the ones that didn't match up, like for instance the K, I used February 9 patch, and that's because the holiday that evokes kisses. So the word was kisses. So that's how like you make things work when they don't work. Let's see, anything else that was different? No, just regular letters. What I also did, I have to rewrite it. This was like a practice go at it, is my alphabet for my acrostics. I started, I wrote ABC and I went through all my acrostics and saw where they fit in the alphabet. This is scrap paper. Previous stuff that I had downloaded, printed out, and so I use it as scrap paper. And so A, it would be Angel of Light, Oh Holy Night, because of the angels, Under the Friendship Tree, because there's apples, American Welcome, I'll be starting that, A Snow Angel, I'll be starting that, Annie B's, so I wrote everything that would fit under A, and I went through the whole alphabet. And then the letters that I had trouble with, I brought it to my Zoom call with my Dena and Dena group, and we meet twice a month, and one is a planning month, and then one session, and then the other is like sit and chat and stitch. So I brought the letters up to them, and they gave me some ideas. So that was wonderful. Okay, what else? I think I told you all that. I think we'll just get right into, I wonder if I should do this first. Oh, I'll tell you that at the end. I got a lovely thank you card from Robin Bunis. Thank you very much, Robin. She won a giveaway and she sent me a thank you card, so that was wonderful. I'll be starting this tomorrow. It is Jardin Privé, My Lady's Quaker. And that's the pattern. And I had stitched the accompanying piece, which is Gentleman's Quaker. And it's done, this is done in two colors, a blue and a black. So the Ladies Quaker is done with black, and they wrote down 815 as the color red, but they used a variegated on the cover. So I wanted it to somewhat match with this piece. I had it hanging over here. I took it down as well. This is Marquis by Jardin Privé, and it was done with 3 colors. And this is a brownish color and then 2 mauve colors. So I wanted it to be somewhat in that family, even though it's going to be black. So what I did was I pulled out these colors. 2 of them were in the that I used for Marquis in the black. Let me get back on. I'm thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking, to be honest with you. I don't know if that's too pinky. I don't know if this is enough contrast. I was thinking perhaps that, and I don't know about that. So if you'd like to share your thoughts, this is 152, that combination. This is 223. This one is 3354. And this is 962. If you want to share your thoughts of which color you would possibly choose, I would love to hear from you. Even though I'm starting it tomorrow. Maybe I'll wait. Maybe I'll wait a couple of days, and I'll pick something else to start tomorrow. Maybe I'll do that. This will be put on the back burner. Maybe I'll wait like until next week. It's okay, because I really would like to hear what you think. So if you can, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Okay. I had done a giveaway, and this was the chart from Friends and Neighbors from JBW Designs, and the winner of that chart is Shirley Anderson-DR3DU. And I haven't heard from Shirley. So today, what I did was I went to her message and I asked her to watch my last video. And hopefully she'll watch it and get in touch with me and send me her address so I can get that out to her. If for some reason Shirley says that she changed her mind, she doesn't want the pattern, or she doesn't answer by my next video, I save everybody who entered. I'll just pull another name from that group of interest, and I'll announce it on my next video. Okay, I'm gonna do a surprise giveaway right now. My friend Adele gave me this pattern at the library this last Tuesday. I went to the library, and it's Marquee, the one I just showed you. And nobody else wanted it in the group. And she said, use it as a giveaway, because she knew I already stitched it, because when she saw mine, she bought the pattern when I was working on it. So this is, let's see, I don't want you to write Marquee, because I would have trouble spelling it. Just write lady. The lady. If you're interested, just make a comment, write the lady. I'm going to make it. You have to be a subscriber. You have to like the video. And you have to write the word lady if you're interested in this pattern. And today is the 4th. I'm going to say by the 15th of November at 12 noon is the cutoff, because I might do a video on the 17th, and I want to make sure that everybody that wanted to be put into this. So that's November 15th, 12 noon Eastern Standard Time on the East Coast. Okay. Alrighty, so anybody who's interested, just lady, please. Okay, now let's get into the stitching. I'll save my purchases, hauls for the end, and a very funny story. Okay, let's see. So this is basically all October stitching. I stitched on the 1st, 2nd, 3rd of November, but I'm going to save that for my next video, and I'll tell you about the plans that I have for the rest of the year. Okay, so this is Winter in the Village by Stony Creek. And I was able to finish. No, I didn't finish. I put a lot of stitches in. I put the word needlework shop, needlework shop in this. That's all that was needed. This was all outlined. And then I did most of this. This is going to be a church because at the top is a cross. At the top of here, there's another part of the house building and then a cross at the top. So I'm assuming that's the church. Let's see right here. So I'm enjoying this very, very much. I brought the sidewalk over. And so I have that house and then one more house, which is the beauty salon. It's very hard. I mean, you know, a lot of times I like to look at the picture as I'm stitching. If I can't make out what I'm stitching in the pattern, I like to look at the picture. But when the pictures are taken at such a distance, it makes it really difficult. So this is the piece so far, and I'm really, really loving it. So I'm hoping I can inspire you to pick up one of the villages. This is the second one. I did autumn, and then we have spring and summer coming up. Put this on this side. That's the funny story. Okay. The next one, I put a little bit of work on this. This is one of those days where, I don't know, I forgot why I didn't stitch much. Lizzie Kate, 'Tis the Season. And all I did was the tree. And a little bit of this. I think there's a pot underneath it. Yep. Like the first 2-day rotation, I got all the words and this much of the Santa in. And I only stitched one day. Why? I was out of it. Why? Was it the day of my colonoscopy? I had a very hard time. I had to come back home, remedicate, and go back. Medicate and, you know, drinking more stuff. It was horrible. And then I was up all that night as well as the night before. So, yeah, so that's all I got. I'm like, why did I remember, like my head was, and that's why. They put me out twice. So anyway, that's all I got done in this. I was hoping to have more done so that November and December when I worked on it, if I got the opportunity to work on it, I would maybe be closer to a finish. Okay, this is, okay. This is Winter Wonderland series. And the one I worked on was Frosty Blue House. Now, granted, this is not a picture of the stitching. This is probably a computer-generated photograph. And I stitched this first house. I wasn't going to do the bows. I don't think I was going to do this bottom. I was going to have the snow, but have them all continue. Then I was thinking of doing them all separately. But after I did the first one, I wasn't enjoying it. I was really struggling. I finished the house. I'll probably finish it as a little Christmas ornament eventually, but I'm not going to do the series. I don't know, it's really pretty when I look at it like this, but when I look at it in person, it's kind of like blasé. They stitched it on a 28 count light exemplar linen. I'm not sure what color exemplar linen is. This is like a gray, which is showing pretty true. But, and see in this one up here, it looks like a pinkish background almost. So I don't know, I have to think on this more. But right now I don't foresee stitching it. If I don't, I haven't decided, but if I don't, it'll probably be a big giveaway. at a later date, like when I hit a milestone. This is copies that go on forever. I stitched on Elizabeth. Was this the one? No, Angel of Light. Okay. This is Memorabilia, Elizabeth. And I went to a copier and I went to Staples and had them make a copy of both sides of the pattern, and I glued it all together so that I can figure it out. So I was able to get quite a bit done since you last saw it. Let's see if I can. I filled in all this, then I brought this all down, started doing this black section in the front here. Black and purple. Then I brought this down. It doesn't look like much because it's like blotchy right now, but I think once it's all in, it'll look much better. But I'm enjoying stitching on it, and this is where I've gotten so far. She's not outlined at all. And this is where this is the furthest part of the border, where so I know it fits on that side. And this is stitched on a 28 count sterling silver Lugana. Okay, this one I wanted to share a tip with you of what I came up with while I was stitching. Just looking for the picture. This is Angel of Light by Lavender and Lace. I know Vicky, the Virginia Stitcher, started this with me. Vicky just did a video on, I forgot how many, 62, I think, new starts she had this year. She did one of the last 31 that she started. She made some wonderful progress on a lot of them. Okay. I finished her wings, and I stitched down this section. Now, when I was stitching this section here, there was about three or four different color greens in here. And I was at the end of a thread, and I had marked my calendar, my pattern, every stitch that every row, like 3 stitches highlight, 4 stitches highlight, 2 stitches. So I was doing that all the way down. But I said, if I end this, I'm not going to know, like I'd have to go all the way back up here to figure out where I was on the pattern. On the pattern, I knew where I was because I had highlighted, so the next one was where I go. But if I just cut the thread, I wouldn't have known exactly at what row I was at, because the colors were, like when you're stitching this, they look so similar that you wouldn't have been able to, not maybe you would have, but I wouldn't have been able to figure out where I left off to go. So what I did was I threaded the next needle with the color that I was continuing with. And as I put that last stitch in, I put the new needle in, locked that stitch, then I ended the last thread, and I knew exactly where I was going with that. And I don't know, maybe you knew that already, but I thought that was, I said, wow, that was a really good idea, Lori. You'll have to share that. So I hope that's something you might be able to use it as well. So let me just stand up and show you where I've gotten. So I finished the wing. The wing was about up to here, so I brought this all down, and I brought this all out here. So this is where she's at. I have a long way to go for sure, but when I'm figuring it out. Like when I was stitching, I'm like, why is this here? But when you look at it from a distance, you see why. The colors are where they are and the delineation of the wings and everything. So I was very happy when I held that back and looked at it. And this is stitched on a 28 count country mocha. Okay, the next one is the Plant Wisdom Sampler by Brenda Keys and the Sampler Company. And let's see, I put the heart in. I did this tree and the little girl. He was already in. I did the rest of the grass. And I don't remember if this, I think the vine was in because I wanted the pot to be there. So I think that was there. So just the heart, this section, and the grass was what I added. So I still have to add a year in here. And then there's a dog, I believe, a little dog here. The words. And the words say, if happiness is your pursuit, then on this side it says, plant wisdom and enjoy the fruit. And this is stitched on a 28 count ivory Lugana. So I'm almost there. I have the words to do. Oh, there's a wheelbarrow between the girl and the gentleman with a tree in it, a bee skep, the words, and two bees. Two bees buzzing. So hopefully by the end of December, maybe, if I get to stitch, I don't know if I have it to stitch this coming November. I don't remember everything. I mean, I write it down. I could look it up. But I think in two more sessions, if I have good days, I should be able to stitch on it. Okay, what did I do? Okay, the next one's a Mirabilia. It's Christmas Elf Fairy. And that's the little girl. I call her a little girl. Young teen. I have a note to myself where to start next. This is stitched on a 14 count Ada. These are the beads I need. Toast. I didn't iron it. But I finished her dress and her boots. No, none of the beading is in. But I finished her dress and her boots. So I have left is her wing, and maybe the wings, and the tree, and the beading. Oh, and then the outlining of her face and hands. So I don't have much to go. I was always afraid of Mirabilias, but I figured little by little and having some patience helps. The next one I picked up was Miss Bingley's Library by Plum Street. I put in this, I worked from this section. So I put in this house section, this one, and the window minus the fill-in of the window. So I have another window here, another white section, and the door of the house. So I'll have to see if this is on for November. If it is, maybe this is a good library day piece. So that's Miss Bingley's Library. I have some outlining in the books that I'm saving for the end. Since I put it in a Q-snap, I don't. And then the words on the bottom. which say, I shall be miserable if I have not an excellent library. 1813. Okay. One last piece, and that is from Scattered Seed Samplers. It's the Summer Sweets Pin Keep. And I stitched this on 28 count mushroom Lugana. And I was able to finish it. Okay, so mine's on a pin keep because it's on 28 and not, what's it called for? 36. So it wouldn't have been too much smaller, but I love it just the same. I'll probably, put it out in the summer. Oh yeah, it's called Summer Sweets. Duh. I think it came out really cute. I'm just checking to make sure I have everything on there. It's funny, like you're looking like, oh, did you miss something? No, it's there. So that's everything that I stitched in October. And I'll start what I started this November. I'll start in the next video. But I want to just go over, I got haul to go over. Let me go over some plans, if you like to hear plans, if you don't like to hear haul. I had scheduled from like my planning from last November, December when I planned, and I told you about it. I had shown you what patterns I was going to stitch and what months I was going to stitch them in. So I have 3 slated for this month and 3 slated for December. What I decided to do was to put them all in November. Start them all in November, and then in December, I don't have to, like, being it's close to the holidays and everything, and who knows if I'll get a lot of stitching time on certain days and everything. So I decided to start them all in November, and in December just work on whatever I can work on when I can work on it. And they'll be started, it won't be as stressful of a start. I don't know, it's not that they're stressful, but it'll work for me better. Okay, last year before I put out my Christmas decorations, I did a video where I showed you all my Christmas decorations. So I'm not going to do that again. But I decided that before I put my Halloween and fall, Thanksgiving decorations away, that I would do another video and show you all of them. A lot of them haven't been finished. I had done, I don't remember what month I did that. If it was November of last year, I had videoed a under the bed box, even though they're not under a bed or a box, video. And I showed you all my whips that were not finished and fully finished. And I think I only finished like 6 out of 46, 7 or something. I didn't do very well this year. And the last couple of finishing Zooms that my group had, I wasn't able to participate because I had other prior commitments or last minute commitments with grandchildren. So yeah, so I have to do better at finishing. So I promise that in the next video, I'm going to show you some finishes. That I'm going out on a limb, and I'm going to show you some finishes. Okay, so I'll do a video on all the fall, and I'll probably do it towards the end of November, since I want them out for most of the November, even though a lot of people start Christmas decorating and stuff. But so somewhere towards the end of November, there'll be a video on my finished projects for those holidays. Then I'll show you a video. I will make a video on what I have kitted up to start in 2025. We do planning videos with my group, with Dena and Dena from Half Stitch Cross Stitch. And like we'll say, oh, we're going to do 25 new starts this or that. So I asked them, I says, now if something's in a series, for instance, like this year Dena did strawberries. She did 12 strawberries for the 12 ornaments for the year. So if you're going to do Christmas stockings, can you count one stocking a month as different like as 12 new projects? And their answer was yes. If it's a series of some sort that's not stitched together, then you count them individually. So basically I have like 25 project bags of projects in them, but I think it like comes out to 50 something projects because like of the series. Does that make sense? Great, I'm glad you got it. Okay, and then I'll be doing my regular videos of what I've been stitching and you know, what acrostics I've been following. And if Jessie Marie does the next Great British Bake Off series game, I'll try and participate in that. I will definitely continue Whip Go next year. I don't know, I have to figure out how I'm going to do that, but that's the plan. Now I'm going to tell you a funny story, and then I'm going to show you my haul, and then that'll be it. So the funny story. I showed this pattern to you already. I ordered this pattern from 123 Stitch from Kathy Barrick, and I love this pattern. My girlfriend Alva did this, and gorgeous. And Adele is working on it now too. I mean, just beautiful. So I says, okay, I have to buy it. I need to stitch it. So I started to kit it up. I says, oh, I'm going to start this in 2025. I started kitting it up. So the key is here. And I was looking at the different colors. And I'm like, oh, where does this color belong? So I went to look at the pattern. And I'm not going to show you the whole pattern, but I just want to show you one thing. This pattern here, you see it says like an S or a 5. So I go to the key, and there's no S or 5 there. So I picked another symbol. It wasn't there. It was like they were two different items. One was the chart and one was the key. And it was like I opened a foreign language book and I didn't know how to read it. So and then I was like, now what do I do? So I was going to call my friend and say, I don't know if I need a new key or if I need a new pattern. But it was Saturday and I'm like, what do I do? What do I do? So I said, you know what? I'm going to go on Instagram and see if Kathy Barrick has an Instagram account. So I personally messaged her and I told her what happened, and she knew exactly what I was talking about because she was aware of it. And she called Hoffman, the distributing company, and saying that these 100 patterns were no good because there was an error in them to like just throw them away, I guess. And she supplied them with new patterns. So she said, you know, I can mail you a copy, I can email you a copy, whatever you want. And I said, if you don't mind sending it. She goes, I'll get it out on Monday. And I think by Wednesday I had it, the new pattern. She was so gracious, so lovely. I mean, how can she not be? She's a designer. She's wonderful, cross stitcher. All cross stitchers are just wonderful. But she was so gracious, and you know, I thought she was going to say, "What are you talking about?" You know, but when I read that message, I was really impressed of how quickly she answered me. I thought it would be days before I would hear anything, but same day, later on in the day, she answered, and I was like, very nice, very, very nice. And I love her patterns, needless to say. Okay, so last video, I showed you this, and I showed you a green, and I think 99% of you said, no green. Do not stitch it on that. So then I watched, I think it's Snickerdoodle, and she stitched this on a blue. Somebody told me, go back a couple of episodes of hers, she stitched it and she did it on a blue. So I found this blue that might work. But I had also stitched, this is Fiber on a Whim, and I bought it at 123 Stitch. And what's the color of this? Dolce de leche. Dolce di leche? Leche. Dolce de leche. And the color's right at the bottom. So I also have this, but it's not quite as dark, but that might work too. So if you like to tell me which color you like better, I don't know, I'm kind of leaning towards the blue. I think it would be, I don't know. If you want to say brown or blue, and if you make a comment and you like to share that as well, I'd love to hear your comments. I just bought another piece of white Aida. Looks like, let's see if I can open this. Oh, here we go. 16 count antique white. And somebody said that they like this color. It's a new color by the Gentle Art Company called Dungarees. So I thought I'd see if I liked it. So I bought it. I do like it, but now to see what I'm going to work with it. Then I purchased, also at 123 Stitch, Noel and Rouge, the sweaters. This might be a cute idea to do on perforated paper as well. Just a thought. And that was it from 123 Stitch. Then I watched Sherry from the Colorado Cross Stitcher, and she obtained the rights to Birds of a Feather, and she was, I forget the word she used. Let's see, it tells me right on here. Remastered the patterns, and I saw two of these patterns that I had seen, lovely wrapped paper. I had seen Pam from Just Keep Stitching stitch on these, and I loved them, but a viewer had lent them to her. So I said, oh, there's no way. So when Sherry got the rights to this and she charted them, I was so grateful. So the first one I purchased was Christmas Angel Ornaments. I love these. So this I'll be also adding to my pile of 2025. And this one is A Joyous Christmas, the Nativity. I don't know if you can see that very well. There you go. And I love that one as well. So, oh, one more thing. I'm glad I write notes so that I remember what I want to show you. Okay, let's see. Where did I put the pattern? There it is. I had shown you this pattern, I don't know how many months ago. It was, I went to a quilt store in like a town over, and this was a pattern that they were giving out for the, what's it called? Not a sock hop, quilt hop? I don't know what they call them. Does it tell me here? Shop hop, sock hop, shop hop. It's right up here, New Jersey shop hop. And there's not many quilt stores near us at all. So people that actually participate drive a distance to get from one to another. So anyway, I went to this one and I was admiring a quilt that was on the wall, and this was from that, and 2023, and she gave me the pattern. So I was picking out, I wanted to do it in Christmas, and I showed you the blocks that when I was putting them together. But I'm going to tell you that in cross stitching and quilting, in almost anything I do, I'm not a perfectionist, but I look at it as it's made by me, it's made with love. If I give it to somebody, it's because I love them and I hope they love what I did for them. And I make it work for me. This was going to be for me. I wanted a Christmas throw. And so, but my blocks were not lining up. They were like a little bit off, a little askew. So I said, how am I going to fix this? Sashing. So this is what the pattern looks like again. No sashing in between. So I decided to put sashing between. Okay, let me just see if I can show you most of this. Okay, it goes this way. I put sashing and a border. So the sashing is just the rows down, and then we had one going this way, one going this way, and so forth. Okay. Do I dare stand on a revolving chair? Of course I do. Only on here would you see this. Okay, just wanted to give you a little bit more of the... So, anyway. That's the best I can do. And the background fabric, I purchased more of the candy canes to do the back. And now it's a matter of what quilting pattern will I put on it. Okay, that is everything that I wanted to share with you this time. I hope you enjoyed what you saw. And if you'd like to make some comments on any questions that I asked, or if you have any questions, please feel free. If you're interested in the giveaway, please do not say giveaway. Do not say anything about it being any type of nonsense that makes it sound like I'm giving something away, because I want viewers and stitchers that really are going to stitch it, be able to get it and enjoy it. Please be 18 years of age so that I can ask for your address. And I think that's it. Okay, vote tomorrow. I already voted. And what else? Veterans Day is coming up. Thank you to all the veterans who have served our country. And I will see you hopefully around the 17th of November. And then with a regular update. And then I'll go into the special videos of kits and my finishes for November. So thank you for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you come back. I hope you have a wonderful fall day, fall month, and we hope for cooler weather. It varies here. Okay, I'm rambling. I'm going to say goodbye. Take care, guys. Love you. Mwah. Take care.